Sky News Weather Centre. This is the 10-minute briefing.
A very good afternoon or evening too, depending on where you are in Australia, and welcome to your 10-minute briefing on Sky News Weather. Thank you so much for your company. I'm Rachel Rays. This is our meteorologist, Tristan Myers.
Thanks so much, Rachel. Today we're going to be talking about the storms that have been hitting the southeast of Queensland. The storm warning's been cancelled there. Now storms firing up around the Bundaberg, Gladstone regions. And then we're going to be talking about this forecast rainfall event, which is looking like it's going to be bringing some of the worst flooding we've seen for parts of New South Wales and Victoria in years, and potentially even rain rates we haven't ever seen for November before. So we're going to talk about that and then have an update on Mount Agung.
Adelaide and Melbourne have both had their hottest days since summer. Let's take a look at the current temperatures and where they are currently lying. Adelaide sitting on 31.4 degrees is going to be a warm night for you, and Melbourne as well, 33.2 degrees.
Yeah, I know. It's been a hot day today. It was a warmer day in Hobart than it was in Perth today as well. Let's take a look at some radar imagery. Some showers and storms still affecting New South Wales with a severe storm warning out west of the Divide in the northeast. Also a storm warning out north of the Harvey Bay area extending to the central coast and inland of the coalfields, including Emerald, Gladstone, and Yeppoon. And over into South Australia, we have storms in the southeast. They're not rated as being severe. Those severe storms are actually kicking around the pastoral districts, where places like Cooper Pedy, and Marla are a risk of damaging winds and heavy rain.
And there was a significant amount of rainfall in Brisbane today. There was a detailed thunderstorm warning out. It has since been cancelled, but an area of Brisbane had 111 millimetres of rainfall in just 3 hours.
Yeah, that was Mount Coot-tha. We also had rainfall totals falling quite quickly for places like St. Lawrence, 15 millimetres in just 10 minutes' time. Brisbane itself clocked up 28 millimetres since 9 a.m. this morning. They are no longer included in the storm warning area. However, on the Gold Coast, we saw rainfall totals widespread in excess of 30 millimetres since 9 a.m. this morning, with isolated totals, the Sunshine Coast, I should say, with isolated totals in excess of 60 millimetres. Wamaran, west of Caboolture region, recorded 78 millimetres within an hour.
Certainly was a very wet day. Where do you think this might be going this evening into tomorrow?
Yeah, well, the showers will continue for a large part of the Queensland coastline tonight. The storms will ease, but let's take a look at that rainfall forecast, because although we are going to see an easing pattern for the Queensland coastline, the rain, showers, and storms are only going to be ramping up over the next 72 hours. There is already a severe weather warning across Victoria for a weather event that's happening, developing really overnight Thursday and into Friday and intensifying on Saturday. A deep low-pressure trough with a lot of tropical moisture is going to be bringing widespread flooding rainfall. And here on screen you can see the forecast rain just over the next 8 days, the weekly totals. And this, to me, looks more like monthly totals of rainfall, because for Northeast Victoria, your December monthly average, that's when this rain's going to be hitting, is between 40 to 50 millimetres, Albury-Wodonga, Shepparton region, and you're getting widespread totals in excess of 100 millimetres of rainfall forming. Now, the warning is already in place for Friday, essentially. That band of rain sweeping across the state, every single area in Victoria included for a risk of flash flooding due to heavy rainfall rates. But we're also going to see widespread thunderstorms as well on Friday and Saturday in both New South Wales, South Australia, Northern Territory, as well as Victoria.
Flood watches are out as well for Victoria and New South Wales.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of those flood watches. On screen now we have the flood watches that are just for New South Wales. Now these are flood watches extending from central parts of the state, such as the central Murrumbidgee River, also down to the Victorian border. And there is flood watches out across Victoria as well. I haven't included them on screen because they're quite literally too numerous to mention. I will tell you there is only 3 catchments that are excluded out of all of Victoria. One of them is the catchment that includes Geelong, that's Hovels Creek catchment. There's the East Gippsland catchment, I think Can is one of the river names there, and also the Glenelg River catchment in the southwest. Every other river catchment is expected to experience some degree of flooding, with the worst flooding expected for northeast parts of Victoria, where those rainfall rates will be heaviest and most intense. So the ranges could see totals over 300 millimetres of precipitation over a 48-hour period. That will run off, fall into the river catchments, and places like the Ovens and Kings catchments, the Avon catchments, and such and so forth, they will see some of the worst flooding.
And make sure you stay tuned to Sky News Weather. We will keep you updated on all of that that Tristan was just speaking about around the southeast and into New South Wales.
That's right, yeah.
Over tomorrow. and Friday and the next few days over the weekend as well.
I will say that this is being compared to the floods that we saw in 2010 in September for Victoria, where we had a large amount of economic loss due to flooding. So unfortunately, this is looking like it's going to be a similar type of event in terms of the magnitude of rainfall that is going to be anticipated with this event. Again, starting really overnight Thursday into Friday and ramping up into Saturday.
Okay, we're going to take a very short break now. We will be back though in 60 seconds with some international weather news, an update on the Mount Agung ash cloud in Bali, and also your weather forecast right around the nation. Do stay with us. We'll be back in 1 minute.